up, everybody? Blake Milan here, founder of Bacana Grills. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for purchasing your grill. Today we're going to put together a Bacana grill because we know you don't want to read the instructions, so we're just going to do it together right here, right now. The only tools you'll need that are not included in the box are a 14mm socket wrench and a 14mm wrench. It's like Christmas morning. All right, and we'll go through each of the parts as we open the box here. So this is the bottom shelf. This is gonna have, oh, it's heavy, all of your skewers and your screws, little bolts, washers, all of that is in that box. Right, next we have the instruction manual along with a nice little letter from me. You don't need to read the instruction manual if you're watching this video though, but you do have to read the letter. Okay, next we have the charcoal tray. So this is what your coals go in. Set that there for now. The legs to the grill body here, pretty self-explanatory. And just so you know, two of these are different than the other because one, the wheel axle has to go through. The grill body here, the biggest item by far. Just gonna set that here for a sec. And last is the motor, along with the chain drive here. And as you're unwrapping all this and putting it together, be careful because some of these metal edges here are kind of sharp. There you go. All right, so that is everything in the box. Let's open up this smaller box here and go through some of the parts in there. We won't give everything a nice pretty name, but just kind of walk you through what is in here and we'll lay it all out. And we have two different styles of skewers. So this skewer here on the left, the single prong, is going to be most likely what you use for things like pineapple, or maybe you're doing chicken thighs, wings. I mean, the sky's the limit. You guys are gonna cook all kinds of things that we haven't even thought of yet, which is part of the excitement. But this skewer has these fins on the side so that your meat doesn't just slide around and spin, like the skewer just spin without your meat rotating as well. So this was a process of figuring out, and we're really happy with the way it came out and excited for that to be available to you guys. And then this one here is your standard 3-prong skewer, which you're gonna use for most of your bigger cuts of meat, like picanha, tri-tip. Those are your two skewer types. Each grill comes with 2 of these single prong skewers and 5 of your 3-prong skewers. Let's keep going here. Your wheels, wheel axle, handle to help you move that around. All your nuts, bolts, screws in there, washers. And then we get into really the upper rack part of the grill. Okay, this is where you're going to spend most of your time. So we have a bunch of different posts in here that make up the rack system that your skewers are going to rest on. So various stainless steel parts here. And we'll get into each of these as we need them. And they are numbered. So be sure you reference that. It's going to help you just keep things straight, because some of them look really similar. It'll just save you some time. And then we also have your rear panel. So this right here is the back side of the grill, the skewer holes. This is where the tips of the skewer rest in these holes. So that's the back. Obviously your motor here, that's the front. And then this here is your side panels. So this is going to be just kind of block some of that wind from coming in. So side panel for each side. And that's everything in that box. So this is everything that comes in your grill box. It may look a little bit intimidating. I promise it's really not bad. Let's get started. So what you want to do is get your Allen wrench from the parts bag here, and we're going to use bags G, H, and I. The black screws, black pieces, go with the black pieces, all right? So we're going to take first the lock washer and put it on the screw, followed by the regular washer. And we're going to do that for each of the 4. Okay, so what we're going to do for the first 2 legs is we're going to take the legs that are labeled with the number 2, and we're going to put those on. So the end that is closed here goes on the bottom, and you'll see the holes here for the bolts. And I'm just going to put those in hand tight to start, and then tighten them up with the Allen wrench as soon as I got them both in. And then just the same thing on the other side. Close end of the leg down, slide it in, match it up, lock it down. Okay, next we're just going to flip this around and do the same thing on the other side with the 2 remaining legs that are labeled number 3. You're just going to get 4 more screws ready, just like before. And then with our legs labeled number 3, we're going to find the part with the notch that's cut out just a little bit high, and just match it up, just like before, lock it down. Now we're going to go and put the wheels on. So we need the axle sleeves, which are in bag 5. We need our wheels, of course, and we need J. So we'll take the axle and just slide it through. Then we get our wheels and put an axle sleeve on each side of the wheel. And slide it on like so. Take our nut and just put it hand tight. This is where you're going to use your 14mm wrench and socket wrench to finish this. Again, the same thing on the other side. Axle sleeve on each side of the wheel. And slide it on. Put your nut on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the grill body to the legs. There's one thing to keep in mind here. On your grill body, on one side, there are 2 holes. Right here you can see 2 holes. That's where your handle is going to go. You want to make sure that you put the holes on the opposite side as your wheels. Otherwise, it'll be backwards. So the holes are right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the grill body and slide it like so onto the legs. Now be careful, make sure it doesn't fall. This is not a bad time to have another set of hands help you, but all you're going to do, same screws as before, and lock it down. And for this, you're going to need 8 screws because there's 2 for each leg. So again, same way as before, and we're just going to put them on, lock it down. Okay, now we're just going to take it over here, put it actually on the ground, and then attach the handle. So from your bag of screws, you only have 2 black ones left. You're going to put the lock washer, or 1 lock washer on each one. You're out of the other black washers. You don't need them for the handle. So we're just going to use that to put this in the grill body. And again, if you are putting the handle on the same side as the wheels, you did it backwards. Use our Allen wrench again to lock it down. Next, we're going to take the charcoal tray and we're just going to drop it into place here. Watch your fingers. All right, next we're going to assemble the side panels and then attach them to the grill body. So what you're going to do is you're going to take piece 10 and 11. That makes one side panel. So you're going to have 10 and 11 again for the other side panel. And the pieces you need for this are going to be A, D, and then we're going to use M to lock it down. We're also going to be using the washers found in C and the lock washers found in bag B to put on our screws, just like the previous screws. So we're going to take those and we're going to basically connect these side panels together, and then we're going to use that nut to lock it down, and the included little wrench is what you're going to use to fully tighten it. So our 2 sides are now assembled. To actually attach them to the grill body, we're going to need 8 screws, again with your washers on there. And we'll just take one over here and we'll put it right on. You're going to need your Allen wrench to lock it down. And you'll clearly see the spot to lock it down. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Now what we're going to do, now that our side panels are attached, we're going to start assembling the rack system. So what we're going to do is we're going to take we want number 12, part number 12 here, and that is the front left post. So the front of the grill is facing me right now, and you're going to see the screw holes. You're just going to match up with the screw holes on the side panel and slide it right into place like that. We're using the same screws as before with our washers, and just going to lock it down. Next, we're going to assemble the rear left post. So that's piece number 13. 2 screws, just like before, with our washers on there, and match up the holes, lock them down. Next, we're going to do the front right post, which is piece number 14, just like the other side. Slide it into place, lock it down. Now we're going to do the right rear post. It's number 15, exact same as before. Line it up, lock it down. Now we're going to attach the rear support plate. This is where your skewers are going to be poking through here as they're rotating, okay? So you're going to take the rear support plate and slide it into place, and the way you're going to do that, you're going to tip it towards you, and then just as you slide it past those bolt holes, and then you're going to use the 2 of the same screws we used before to lock in the top. So you're going to use a different screw for the bottom. So I'm using, again, with the same washers, everything just like before, but you're putting 1 at the top of each side there. And then for the bottom, we're going to use N. They're a little bit bigger screws, same washers, and that's what we're going to use for the bottom. And of course, lock it down. I flipped the grill around so the front is now facing the camera here, and we're going to attach the motor, aka the drive box. And to do that, we're going to use the screws found in bag E, and we're going to use the same washers as before. And it is, you'll notice the screws are just a little bit bigger, and there are only 4 holes here. Fairly simple. So we're just gonna, again, line it up. And I'm gonna do the top 2 first. So I can do the bottom 2 with free hand. So I put those top 2 screws in on the front. For the bottom 2 screws, you're gonna have to do it from behind, from the inside. So the holes will be very obvious down there, and you're just gonna it's kind of a tight spot. Use your Allen wrench to lock them down. And now we're going to assemble the top rack. So we're going to start with the front, which the piece is number 18. And this is a little bit tricky, the trickiest part of the whole thing. What I'm going to do, because it's going to be a tight squeeze, if you want, you can loosen these posts up a little bit to slide it in easier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in an angle here, and I'm just going to slide up and slide it into place like that. And then use my screws from the A bag and then we'll just lock it down, just like all the others. Now we're going to do the rear top rack. It's also 18. You're just going to flip it around, slide it in just the same way, and just like all the others, same screw, just tighten it down. The grill is assembled. Let's put some skewers on just to show you what it's like. So how much meat you cook at one time is really dependent on the size of the meats that you're cooking. So if you're doing smaller meats, you can put all 7 skewers down going at once. If you're doing, you know, the most popular, which is going to be the Brazilian barbecue, then you're going to be doing bigger cuts of meats, which means you're probably going to be doing 4 skewers on the bottom. 4 on the bottom, and then this is kind of your staging area, your warming area, and you're rotating in as you cook. Let's plug it in. One tip I do want to give you is you have your cord and you're plugging it into your extension cords or whatever. Make sure you keep this cord away from the grill body because it will melt. We don't want that. But let's plug it in, turn it on, so you guys can get grilling.